The Y Zone, where we talk about life and rights.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Y Zone, the show for the youth and the young at heart, with me, your host, Brian Malvin Casey Tolle. When it comes to issues of menstrual hygiene and period poverty, how many of us take time to think about, especially us as men, how many of us take time to think about our sisters and how we can also assist them to be able to have access to sanitary wear? Well, tonight I am joined by a gentleman and two ladies who have taken upon themselves to also assist those who might be in need of sanitary wear, especially in remote parts of the country. They are part of an organization that is called World Changers Organization, and to have a discussion around a trip that we recently had in Tsholotsho, we were able to donate some sanitary wear. I am joined by the organization's director, Kundai Masache. Kundai, welcome to the Y Zone.
Thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
It's exciting to have you, to have this discussion with us. Not to our listeners, you can be part of this conversation by sending a WhatsApp message on our platform, 0731 168 045, 0731 168 045. I will ask the other two ladies to also introduce themselves. One is a partner to World Changers Organization. Would you like to introduce yourself, ma'am?
Hi, Zimbabwe. My name is Faith Mashami. I'm a director of Faith North Investments and Vessel of Honor Boutique.
All right, and the organization is doing quite a lot in terms of supporting initiatives that are being run by young people. I'm excited to have you on the show, Faith. I'll ask the other lady to also introduce herself.
My name is Kudzai Matija, the current Miss UZ, and I'm also a law student at the University of Zimbabwe.
Congratulations, Kudzai. You were recently crowned Miss UZ, right?
Thank you.
I think we're going to have time to also engage around this. Now, before we get into our discussion, we have a very short clip that I want us to listen to, which I got when we traveled with World Changers Organization to Tsholotsho, where they donated some sanitary wear. This is what some of the young people had to say when it comes to access to sanitary wear. Let's take a listen.
If they are suppliers locally, they are very expensive.
For my local suppliers, now, over something like $1.50 for just a packet of 10 pads. For 3 days.
Most girl children we have here don't even have the basic needs, clothing, school fees. So I'm sure sanitary pads at their places, it's not something that is much basic. I guess they end up opting to using other methods, maybe fabrics.
Now, Kundai, we embarked on this journey to Tsholotsho Samahuru together, where we met some of these ladies who were speaking on that clip that I recorded when we were there. They were talking about some of the challenges that they faced in terms of access to sanitary wear. Before we delve much into what they said, what made you decide that you want to embark on this project of assisting young people with sanitary wear?
All right. Growing up in Marondera, I got to see the plight young women face firsthand. You get to see that some of these young women use clinically unapproved methods such as cow dung. Shandisa machira zvongoti when you grow up vabereki vochekera tumachira woti iwe mwana shandisa aka iwe shandisa aka. So zvinozokonzeresa illnesses such as HPV and cervical cancer. And if you look at places like Samahuru, where we went on Friday, you see kuti vana, they have to walk 80 kilometers, not walk actually, but they have to travel 80 kilometers to access the sanitary wear. So it comes to a point whereby we have to exercise those random acts of kindness and go into those places, identify vana in need and assist them in the best way we can.
All right, so it was something that you also noted as you were growing up. I remember we went to Kwaedza, where you went to Squarezo at some point in Marondera, and we also saw the distance that some of these places have when it comes to the shops where people can access these products as well as people's homesteads. Now, Faith, what made you want to be a part of this initiative that Kundai has?
Kundai approached me. Actually, I didn't start with Kundai. I work with a lot of organizations, starting like with Miss and Mrs. Albanism. I worked with Brenda Chivongodze, and also I support Zimbabwe Volleyball Association. I do a lot of donations. But this was when I was growing up, actually, especially, I had this feeling that I need to reach out to a girl child. I need to reach out to the elderly women, those who are underprivileged, so that I reach out to them so that they with something in particular, that I just have something in their lives, just my hand to help them in their lives. So when he came to me, I just said, Kundai, I'm on it. I never give a second thought, but I just said, Kundai, I'm on it. I'm going to do this. So we are looking at growing, like doing more projects, and we just pray that God will enable us to do more projects, reaching out to many parts of Zimbabwe.
All right, and Kudzai, you are the current Miss University of Zimbabwe. You are a beauty queen. What made you also want to be a part of this initiative, and how can other young people who are into into the glitz and glamour of showbiz also play an active role towards assisting underprivileged young people?
Thank you. I grew up in a patriarchal society which underestimated women. And one of the things was that when someone is on their menstrual period, they tend to not go to work and do other certain things. So for me, it was a project that I felt like for us to enhance the power and to empower the girl child, it has to start with their confidence. So by donating pads to children who are underprivileged, it was a way of enhancing the girl child, the women empowerment, and all of those things. So for me, it was a project that I wanted to partake in. So I have an organization. It's still small. It's called KK Period Picks. It's a box whereby it has all the essentials for menstrual periods and all. So the profits of those packages, they go to buying pads as well as supporting our organization. So for me, I felt like the period construction and the period empowerment movement that we are partaking in is something that a lot of people might go to children's home and donate food stuff and forget that the girl child needs to be upgraded in terms of their menstrual cycle and all of the things that might involve their confidence. So that was one of the things that empowered me to become part of this organization.
All right, let me come back to you, Kundai. You know, these issues of menstruation, these issues of when it comes to the period, they're usually issues that men rarely talk about or rarely do anything about. You know, it's a women's issue. Usually it's done under the hush-hush, you know, mom and daughter, auntie, mzukuru, mskana. It's never men getting involved. How was it like for you when you started these projects? Were women really ready to just talk to you openly about these issues?
It was not easy. I was that one weird guy who would come to you with a bunch of pads. But as you grow, you begin to understand that it is actually necessary to exercise random acts of kindness, and you begin to learn how to approach people. And I also have the aid of people like Kudzi here, who can come in and talk to those young women on my behalf so that we can get to donate sanitary pads to them. Going in person and talking to them about menstruation and the whole process, it could be tricky and confusing for most people. But if you surround yourself with people who understand what is really going on, then you can make a way.
All right, you can make a way if you surround yourself with the right people. Let me also come to you. Faith. What role do you think men have when it comes to issues of this nature? Because we know that there are a lot of myths, misconceptions. When it comes to issues with an menstruation, how do you think men can also help to be able to send out a positive story and to also assist those that might not necessarily have sanitary wear? From a woman's perspective, where do you think we as men can come into these conversations?
Yeah, I think like for starters is Kundai has just like initiated this program. Men can come in financially to support this program because already it's a big project. I can even give you example. Like I grew up ne family yanga yaishaya actually. Isu stakatomboshanisawo zvimachira zvachitaura naKundai, you know, as a girl child tichikura. So unoziva nhamo inenge iriko out there. So if everybody in Zimbabwe who is hearing me now, akauya financially, especially on the men's side, those organizations, I think tinokwanisa kuita reach out to the girl child kuti akwanise kuti vasete ma-infections, ma-cancer, a lot of diseases zvinozoitika zvokuti, because if you use that jira then it's unhealthy. Anditi saka mumwe haana kana sipo yacho yekuwachisa. So we actually want to move a step forward of sending those reusable sanitary ware. That's what we want to do. So we're looking to at importing those reusable sanitary wares and from India and from China. So we hope that this project will move forward. So the men out there can just come like with their hands, then we will move a step forward.
Speaking of the role of men in ensuring that these issues are talked about, there's a young man who is called King Holly, who has also come up with a track that we're going to listen to just now, who also sends out a positive, very positive vibes about the issue that we are discussing. It's your show, The Y Zone, the show for the youth and young at heart, with me, your host Brian Marvin K-Sithole. Let us listen to this song by King Holly. We'll be right back in a bit.
Wachema izvindarinzwa Wachema misodzi ndaiona Nyarara cause I'm here for you. In hard times I will see you through. I'll be your guardian angel. Tamari yepeyo Unoshungurudzika muhana. And I know the story so well. Mumoyo mako zvinokubaya. You got nobody to tell. I'll be your guardian angel. Tamari yepeyo I'll be your guardian angel. Tamari yepeyo Unokungura, your existence on this earth. When our times come your way, you wonder what is next. I'ma be your guardian angel. Fight for you every battle. I'ma be your guardian angel. Shamari epeto. I'ma be your guardian angel. Fight for you every battle. I'ma be your guardian angel. Shamari epeto. I'ma be your guardian angel. Your guardian. Your guardian angel. Shamari epeto. I might not stop you from crying, but maybe so that you cry out. When times are hard and you are falling, I'ma give you the strength to carry on. This little light of mine, I'ma make it shine. This little light of mine, I'ma make it shine. I am a sister keeper, I am a hope giver. From the bottom of my heart, this gift of love, I know you need that. I'ma be your guardian angel. Fight for you every battle. I'ma be your guardian angel. Shamari epeto. I'ma be your guardian angel. Fight for you every battle.
It is your show, The Wise One, the show for the youth and the young at heart. And tonight we are talking about issues around period poverty, the menstrual issues. And I am joined in this conversation by individuals who have decided that they want to make a difference in the lives of those that are coming from marginalized communities. I am joined by Kundai Masache, the Executive Director of the World Changers Organization, an organization that has gone to various places that are remote and that people rarely think about, to also donate sanitary ware in such places. I'm also joined by the beauty queen, Kudzai, the recently crowned Miss UZ, as well as Faith, a philanthropist who is supporting the work that is being done by World Changers Organization. Now, Kudzai, I'm going to pose this question to you that I asked before we started listening to this beautiful song that came to us from King Holiness, another young person who also wants to contribute towards the conversation by use of the arts. Kudzai, we're talking about the role of when it comes to these issues. Do you think it's a comfortable conversation if, let's say, your brother or your dad, or maybe your if you do have one, your boyfriend, is to come to you and say, I want to buy you some sanitary ware?
Okay, thank you. Initially, I designed, as I said before, I designed a program or a business that I'm about to start by the mid of August. It's called KK Period Pick, right? It is period essentials, whereby men, boyfriends, husbands, or our dear beloved brothers can purchase the goods for me, and then they get delivered to their dear beloved women, wives, children, as well as their sisters as well. So it's something that I've really thought about, how men feel embarrassed to go into a shop, walk into a shop, come with a pack of pads. So it's something that can help men understand that there are things that they can do without being ashamed, especially buying your loved one a gift, a box that has period essentials, especially when they're having their menstrual cycle. So I genuinely feel like with the adequate education, men will be able to help. As what we have said by Faith, to say that men can join in financially and they can support us, and a lot can be done. They can actually be events whereby men can get to talk about menstrual health to other women or other men as well, in order to help them to understand the basic needs of a woman when they're having their menstrual cycle. For example, a man can actually cook when a woman is having their menstrual cycle, because most of the women experience menstrual cramps. So that is how some men can chip in, especially brothers and sisters, by helping their sisters to help with the chores that are at home. Thank you.
Right. I like that. Maybe next year, for the men that are listening, you might consider a different Valentine's gift. Hey, get a pack of that Kudzai was talking about, and maybe just have it delivered to your mjolos, to your girlfriends, to your wives. I know it's a youth show, so we can talk about such issues, and I'm glad to hear that from you. Because let's talk about our experience when we went to Tsholotsho. I know that it was not necessarily the most comfortable journey because of the distance and the roads and all that. But how did you feel as we were giving out those the sanitary ware when we got there?
The trip to Tsholotsho, I can consider it the best thus far, because I got to see a new environment where people are actually in need, and we address that need. Like I said before, those people have to travel 80 kilometers to access sanitary ware. So being in a position whereby I partnered with Fair North Investments and Chitaitai, and we went there and actually made a difference. Those people were very happy. Takajika Sadzani, Nyama Mkoma Brian, you were there. They were very appreciative. They were so happy, and I think we need to go back to Tsholotsho, and we need to call in more people so that they can actually help develop that area and assist them in the best way they can. If you looked at those blocks of Zidzira, some of them were last established in 1998, is that right? So bangwe kana kuchitonaya vana avakwanise kunyazodzidza because hapana marata. So we need to do more. We have done the first part, addressing sanitary ware. Now we need to do more to make sure that those kids stay in school.
All right. A question that somebody might have is the resources that have been invested in these pet drives that we've had so far. We've had one in Marondera, then another one in Tsholotsho. Kunai, would you consider that, are you using, how are you getting these resources by? How has it been like when it comes to resource mobilization? Are you somebody who can safely say, you know what, I can just get into a shop, buy 1,000 pads and go and donate them?
Unfortunately, no. I have to actually go around and see a couple of people that I believe can actually help. For example, Madam Faith here, I had to approach her and talk to her that, Madam, we are doing this project, and she was very glad to support, and for that I'm forever grateful. And we also spoke with Chitaitai. They were glad to assist. So I'm not in a position whereby if I want to help someone in the morning, I do not have the resources. So I'm calling in on everyone who is listening right now to come on board and join us in this journey to assist other people. Because at the end of the day, one random act of kindness is all we need to change the world.
One random kindness is all that we need to change the world, to make a difference. You know, it might not be as big as you want to see it, but it is still a difference that you've made in somebody's life. Let me come to you, Faith. Why do you think it's important for people like you, you know, who are into business, to also support the initiatives of young people like Kundai?
I personally grew up with a heart of giving as a Christian, like with a Christianity background. So I can say it was in me. It is in me, giving. And even I took care of my siblings, including my elder brothers. I took care of them until they were out of school. So it's something which is in me. Even my brother's kids and my relatives, a lot of relatives, I pass on something to them. I'm just like that. So I don't try to initiate something in terms of giving. I can just freely do it. Not that because I have, but it's just there's this drive which is in me, which just make me to do it. Yes. All
right, Kudzai, let me come to you. You have also mentioned that you have a number of projects that you are running, and right now you're also working with World Changers organization in their activities. Why is it important for corporates, for people like Faith who are into business, to also invest in young people's ideas? Why is it important for them to spare $1 to help out in the projects that you are running?
As Kundai said, from the trip from Tsholotsho, I learned that we should learn to appreciate the small things. It's the small things that matters. And as much as you're overeating, you're having a lot of food in your plates, you should be considerate that there are children out there. The food that you're eating right there, if you reduce $1 from your meal, you can actually buy 5 kids their sanitary way. So I personally feel like entrepreneurs and people who are like Faith, who are supporting youth, they help us to grow and they help us to enlarge our projects. In as much as we would want to help children, there is no way that I can just walk into a store and get 1,000 pairs and donate. But with people like Faith who are willing to donate at the bottom of their hearts, we'll be able to reach a larger crowd and a larger people will be helped, and as well as the menstrual situations will be addressed as well.
All right, Kunda, anything to add?
Yes, like you said, we need more people to come on board and actually assist, because it's not just sanitary wear that we need to help those people. It begins, we need transportation to get to places like Tsholotsho. So someone can just come on board and say, no, I can provide a car. I have to thank Tifara family. They provided transportation to and from Tsholotsho. And someone can come on board and actually say, I can provide food for the trip. So we just need to play our part. You can bring whatever you have. You can actually come and contribute a basic service to the organization.
Like
we have
Holiness,
people like
right?
King Holy here.
Yeah, King Holy.
He's sang a song. He has been with me since Friday, taking videos, trying to make sure that everything is in place. So I really appreciate everyone who has been on board. I think we didn't sleep for 48 hours. With him right here. His name is Munashe Chakara. He was with me. A lot of people actually contributed behind the scenes so that everything can come into place. So we need to come together and make sure that we make a difference.
So sometimes it's not about the money. Somebody might be listening and thinking, I don't have money to give to Kundai so that he can buy maybe some pads. But maybe you're an artist. You can come up with a song like King Holly, as Kundai has mentioned. Maybe you've got a certain skill that can also assist. You can even come and talk to the girls, right? When people go out, and just encourage them, motivate them. You saw the momentum that we had when we were in Tsholotsho, Kundai, that they were really excited to listen to us, to see us. Remember, you can send messages through to our WhatsApp platform, 0731 168 045. 0731 168 045. A listener here says, I love your idea, guys. wish I could give your organization helping with ideas. And unfortunately, as Anonymous, they did not give us their name, but Kundai, they also want to give your organization some ideas. I'm sure you're welcome to such, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, you'll be able to send through your Kundai, before we leave, you're going to give us your contact number so that such people can also get in touch with you and you can discuss further, which is the whole point of converging here on the Y Zone. We can be able to talk about such issues and ensure that other young people are aware of the work that we are doing. So, Faith, as we start to sum up our show, what does the future look like in terms of your relationship with World Changers organizations and other youth groups out there that might also be in need of your assistance?
Trikutarisira zvakawanda. Also, my youth akuuza drugs, and we want to be reaching out kuti tikwanisewo kuti tiitewo awareness ekuti my youth amire kuuza drugs. Then tirikufunga kuti tichaita projects akawanda, not kugumira ipapo also. Saka with those people who are coming on board wanting to give us ideas, I think we can move like the sky is the limit.
Right.
Yes.
And Miss Uzet, a lawyer in the making as well. We've forgotten to say that part, right? Okay. That this is an advocate in the making. What does your future look like when it comes to these issues of charity, philanthropy, just helping societies? Where do you want to go from here?
Okay, in as much as we're doing the menstrual campaign and the menstrual movement, I feel like people tend to forget the literacy part of children. So in the future, I feel like we'll be working on projects like Children Literacy Foundation, programs that enhance children's literacy. For example, there are children who are in prisons with their mothers, like prisons, children, inmates, right? The children of incarcerated people. Those people need literacy. In as much as you can go to an orphanage or to jail and donate pens and pencils or books, those people might not be able to use them. But if we raise money and then we go and we buy beginners books for people to start reading from scratch, and then they get the basic understanding of literacy, so that in as much as they are in places that are underprivileged and or they'll be able to be better people in the future. That is all I can say for now.
All right, and Faith, let me come back to you. What are your parting shots as we conclude the show?
I just want to say, let's reach out to the girl child unprivileged, and also as my daughter here just said, let's even reach out to those inmates. There are a lot of things which giving back to the society. That's what all I can say. Let's give back to the society with the little we have. Even with that biscuit, you can even share it amongst 10 people. So let's just give back to the society.
All right.
Yes.
And Kundai, your parting shots?
All right. I would like to begin by thanking Fair North Investments for being part of this awesome initiative. We made a difference together, madam. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank Chitaitai Chemicals for supporting us on our trip to Tsholotsho, and everyone who was instrumental in supporting us. And also, I need you guys, everyone who is listening, if you can make a difference, please try to. You might not believe in the way that we as the World Change Organization are doing things, but in your own capacity, try by all means to exercise random acts of kindness wherever you are.
All right, another message here from Sandra Mwaita says, hi there, I'm Sandra Mwaita. I really appreciate you guys for what you're doing. Shout out to King Holly. I love the song. Wish you the best, guys. I think this is a very good point to conclude the show from. You know, people are appreciating the work that you're doing. World Changers Organization, Fair North Investments, Chitaitai Chemicals, who also came in and added to the donations that were given, as well as Miss Uzet. You felt that, let me be a part of this. And I know that even going into future trips, you also make a huge difference. You will motivate others. And then lastly, Kundai, would you like to share your contacts? How do people reach out to you?
All right, we are on Facebook as wo.c.o. We are also on Instagram as at wocoo official, WOCO official, and on Twitter as well as at wocoo official. And our website is www.wocooofficial.org.
All right. So do you have a number that you can also give out to the listeners?
All right, 0788 661715. I'll repeat that, 0788 661715.
All right, Kundai, Kudzai, and Faith, thank you so much for coming through to the Y Zone. Another listener here is saying, wow, the show is inspiring. Good work. You know, you are inspiring other young people to also know that with or without resources, you can make a difference. It starts with your heart. As you said earlier on, Kundai, it's about having random acts of kindness. That's all that it takes for us to be able to make a difference in the world. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we had for the Y Zone, the show for the youth and the young at heart, with me, your host, Brian Marvin K. Stole. For now, I am saying good night, stay safe. COVID-19 is real. Let us meet in other programs. Rolling the red carpet for PD the Ghost, who is up next with The Fix.